12:28 in the morning. Kind of bad because over the weekend I would usually stay here and work on my school stuff, but instead I went out and did that crazy awesome hike. So I lost some work time, so I had to be at school like all day every day, and I actually went out and bought some food, so now I'm not going to be a starving child. I paid $23 for groceries for the next week. We're going to see how well that works. I'm pretty sure it'll work out. Other thing is freaking banging. Yeah, there's this huge assignment due tomorrow, and I was like, what? And so I had to do the whole thing today along with like 2 essays. Pretty gnarly, but I busted it out. I still have a little bit to do on it, so I'm going to do that tomorrow and just see how it goes. Yeah. The other thing is that, oh yeah, the story. So that video that I just put up like yesterday, that's the reason why I didn't put up any videos on, I think, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is because I was trying to put all that together into one piece instead of like, yeah, anyways. And I had to wait until I got back here with my computer so I could edit it. And so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Something that I found out from watching that, though, is that I kept doing this with all my shots, so I had to like struggle to find solid shots that were just standing still, so everything wasn't always moving all over the place. Like, but it's just a thing. When you're next to a mountain range, you want to just take a video of it going sideways for some reason. And yeah, but the hike was really awesome. It was super cool. There's something about the brisk morning air and the super clear sky, and just I felt like a Highlander for a good half of the day. I would straight up wear a kilt up there and no shirt and just run around, fight bears if I could. But, you know, we'll see how life goes. Maybe that'll happen someday. The other big important thing is that I got lost coming down the mountain. So, at the peak, you saw in the video, if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, I just put it up. Go watch it. At the peak, we could see all the clouds rolling in, and that they're all pretty and stuff, but that's also, it's a cloud. It's literally just mist. And when you're up that high, you need to go through that cloud to get back to where you were. So clouds aren't exactly good for standing in because you can't see through them. So I go down, and it's my brother, Sean, and I go down, and they're like, okay, you go down. I was worried about my dad, so I go down. I'm like, look, I'm just going to go get Dad and stay together, and that's how it's going to be. And they're like, yeah, cool. So I start going down, and I get down, like, the crazy part pretty decently. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And then I kind of lose my bearings, but since everything sort of looks the same, I'm like, yeah, I'm going the right direction. And the mountains that I was using to orientate myself got covered up by clouds. And so I'm like, okay, I'll look back at Mount Rainier, and then that's covered up by clouds, so I'm like, frick, go. So I just keep going, and I straight up had some like Bear Grylls moments where I was about to fall off like a rock face, and I had to crawl between like all this really steep shale that like was not sturdy, and like a glacier, part of a glacier that like went down into the bowels of the earth. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, I'm good, yeah. And I'm not going to tell you that one. That's my personal man moment. But, just like all these trials and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll get there. And then I just get to this point where I'm like, okay, I don't know where I am. I'm on the side of a mountain in the middle of a national park. Yes, there are people here, but they are all on the trails that are made for people to be on. I'm lost. So I'm straight up, I'm hardcore lost. I'm like, well, balls, I'm gonna die. And I start to kind of like flip out a little bit, but then I'm like, no, chill, bro, chill. And so I just start doing what I read on the internet, which is following water downhill. And so I start following this water downhill. And I'm going from like rock and ice into just pure rock, into like shale and like vegetation, back into rock, into like sort of marsh, and then back. And so then I'm straight up like walking down this hill this mountain that's like 40 degrees or something in sneakers and jeans. And I'm just going down, like, I'm so lost right now, following this river. And I start look, I'm Christian, so I'm going to associate myself with the Lord on high. Amen? Anybody? So I'm like, God, help me. What do I do? And he's like, bro, just do what you were doing. What's the big deal? And I'm like, but I'm scared. And he's like, dude, shut up, just go. So I went, and I kept going, and I kept like flipping out, God, what do I do? And he's like, bro, just go, man. So I went, I goed, and I got to this river area, and I started going this way, but then I was like, no, I'll go this way. And I went this way, and then there's a pathway, just chilling, right across the river. I'm like, hallelujah. So I'm saved. I'm not going to die on a mountain. And I start running down the trail because I'm like happy. I'm going to get back to civilization and human beings. Like, I was ready to start spending the night on that mountain. And I meet this park ranger, and he's like, what's up, man? And I'm like, what's up? Which way do I go? And he's like, oh, I go that way. So I ended up having to climb all the way around the mountain again, get back to Spray Park, and then run all the way back down the trail we came up in the first place to find my dad and my bro and Sean. And they're like, oh, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then we went home. So, I almost died. I mean, I guess I probably would have lived. I would have been fine. I actually straight up would have been fine. I just would have had a really cold and unenjoyable night, and then a long trek down the mountain the next day, eventually into some kind of road. But yeah. Anyways, don't get lost on mountains. Have fun. And yeah. Oh, also, that video took me straight up 3 hours to edit. That's why I like to edit videos, because they come out nice, but I'm always like, editing, And it also took a long time because I hadn't edited anything in a while, so that was it. So I'm going to go to bed. I hope you have a great day. Don't get lost on a mountain. Peace out.